Assalamu alaikum fam, hope you're doing well. Lil Habaneros here. So we're continuing our reading of Tirmidhi. Alright, so let's begin. Chapter 18, what has been related about the sea walk. Abu Huraira, may Allah be pleased with him, narrated that the Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, If it were not that it would be difficult on my nation, then I would have ordered them to use the siwak for each prayer. Sahih. Okay, yes, I definitely remember that one. I think we should just do it. Why not? If you can, do it, you know? It's very clean, very hygienic. Abu Isa said, this hadith has been reported by Muhammad bin Ishaq, from Muhammad bin Ibrahim, from Abu Salama, from Zayd bin Khalid, from the Prophet, peace be upon him. The hadith of Abu Salama from Abu Huraira, that of Zayd bin Khalid from the Prophet, peace be upon him. Both of them are sahih in my view, because this hadith has been reported from more than one route, from Abu Huraira, from the Prophet, peace be upon him. So notice the from more than one route. And the hadith of Abu Huraira is only correct because it has been reported through more than one route. Okay, notice this. Because it has been reported from another route. As for Muhammad bin Ismail, he claimed that the hadith of Abu Salama from Zayd bin Khalid is more correct. Abu Isa said, there are narrations on this topic from Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, Ali, Aisha, Ibn Abbas, Hudayfa, Zayn bin Khalid, Anas, Abdullah bin Umar, Habiba, Ibn Umar, Abu Amama, Abu Ayyub, Tamam bin Abbas, Abdullah bin Hanzala, Salama, Wathila bin al-Aqsa, and Abu Musa. So that's a lot. So yeah, definitely sorry. You have a lot of Abu Bakr and Aisha. I mean, wow. Abu Musa there is starting to recognize all these names. Comments. This hadith informs that using siwak, the toothstick or toothbrush, is a very dear and light deed. Had he, peace be upon him, not the fear that the use of siwak at the time of every prayer would cause hardship to his people, he, peace be upon him, would have made it compulsory for every prayer. Therefore, one should do one's best to use siwak for every prayer. Nice. So, recommended but not obligatory. Nice. Zayd bin Khalid al-Juhani said, I heard Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, saying, if it were not that it would be difficult on my nation, then I would have ordered them to use the siwak for each prayer, and to delay the Isha prayer until the third of the night. He, Abu Salama, one of the narrators, said, okay, let's see what Abu Salama said. Zayd bin Khalid would attend this prayer in the masjid, and his siwak would be on his ear, in the location of the pen on the ear of the writer. He would not get up to pray without cleaning his teeth, then returning it to its location. Hassan. Cool. Very cool. Very hygienic. That's nice. Abu Isa said, this hadith is Hassan Sahih. Chapter 19, what has been related, that when one of you awakens from his sleep, then let him not put his hands into the vessels until he washes it. Yeah, because you don't know what you grabbed when you sleep, right? You don't know. Abu Huraira reported that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said, when one of you awakens in the night, then let him not put his hands into the vessels until he has poured water in it 2 times or 3 times, for indeed he does not know where his hand has spent the night. Exactly. Sahih, yeah, sometimes you itch, you never know. You never know. So, makes sense, totally, yeah. There are narrations on this topic from Ibn Umar, Jabir, and Aisha. Abu Isa said, this hadith is Hassan Sahih. Ash-Shafi said, it is recommended for everyone who awakens from his sleep, be it brief or otherwise, that he not put his hands in the water for wudu until he washes them. If he were to enter his hands in the vessel before washing them, then that would be disliked for him, and it would not spoil the water when there is no impurities on his hands. Ahmad bin Hanbal said, when one awakens from sleep at night and enters his hands into the water for wudu before washing them, then it is preferred to me that he dump out the water. Interesting, okay. That was Ahmad bin Hanbal. Ishaq said, when he awakens from sleep in the night or the day, then he is not to put his hands into the water for wudu until he washes them. Okay, quite clear. Comments. According to the majority of the people of knowledge, there is no difference between the sleep of night or day in this matter. This rule is applied to waking up after any sleep, and the specification of during night is accidental but not specified only with the sleep at night. Some narrations do not have the quotation of this specification, and also Imam Tirmidhi entitled the chapter without this specification. The logic of this rule that the Prophet, peace be upon him, explained is because the sleeping person does not know where his hand has spent the night. In accordance to this logic, also, there is no difference between the sleep of the night and the day. So that's pretty cool. So, if we got stuck up on semantics of why the night, one could say, oh, well, because it's longer. You have more cat naps during the day. And then if you have a cat nap, you're less likely to toss and turn as much. However, here, it's like, no, either way, when your eyes close, just go about doing what they say. Chapter 20. What has been related about the tasmiyah when performing wudu. Rabah bin Abdul Rahman bin Abi Sufyan bin Huwaytib narrated from his grandmother, from her father, she said that he said, I heard Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, saying, there is no wudu for one who does not mention Allah's name over it. Hassan. So like Bismillah, so you have to make intention, you have to say Bismillah, right? Something along those lines, I think is what they're getting at. Let's see. He said, there are narrations on this topic from Aisha, Abu Sa'id, Al-Khudri, Abu Hurairah, Sahal bin Sa'd, and Anas. Abu Isa said, Ahmad bin Hanbal said, I do not know of a hadith on this topic that has a good Jayyid chain. Okay, so Jayyid, Jayyid. Ishaq said, if one purposely avoids the tasmiyah, he repeats the wudu. If he forgets or did not do so because of some interpretation, then it is acceptable. Okay. So, interesting. Muhammad bin Ismail said, the best thing on this topic is the hadith of Rabah bin Abdurrahman. Abu Isa said, as for Rabah bin Abdurrahman from his grandmother, from her father is Sa'id bin Zayd bin Amr bin Nufail. Abu Thufal al-Muri's name is Thumama bin Hussein. And Rabah bin Abdurrahman is Abu Bakr bin Huwaytib. Some who reported this hadith say, from Abu Bakr bin Huwaytib, attributing him to his grandfather. That's interesting. Abu Bakr bin Huwaytib. So what's cool about this is that we're learning that other people were, we don't just think that Abu Bakr as-Siddiq is like the only person with the Abu Bakr words in their name. That's very important to know. In the opinion of Imam Hassan Basari, Ishaq Thaharites, and some other Imam, reading Bismillah in the name of Allah before beginning ablution is compulsory. Okay, yes, alright. Yes, Bismillah, alright. I was on the right track. According to Ibn Qudama, in the case of adopting the view of it, the beginning compulsory, the ablution will then be invalid. In the name of Allah is abandoned intentionally, but the ablution will be valid if abandoned forgetfully. Okay, cool. So, if you know you have to say Bismillah before wudu, and then you intentionally just ignore it and cut corners, well, then you're not doing what you're supposed to do. But if you did it accidentally, then it's still valid. So, very cool distinction. Rabah bin Abdurrahman bin Abu Sufyan bin Huwaytib narrated, the same from his grandmother, from the daughter of Sa'id bin Zayd, from her father, from the Prophet, peace be upon him. Hasan. Chapter 21. What has been related about al-madmada and al-istinshak. Okay, so al-madmada is rinsing the mouth with water, and al-istinshak is sniffing water into the nose and blowing it out, so when you clean your nose. Salma bin Qais narrated that Allah's Messenger, peace be upon him, said, "When you perform wudu, then sniff water in the nose and blow it out, and when you use small stones to remove filth, then make it odd-numbered." Sahih. Yes, that has been quite clear. He said, there are narrations on this topic from Uthman, Lakit bin Sabira, Ibn Abbas, Al-Mikdam bin Madirakrib, Wa'il bin Hujr, and Abu Huraira. Abu Isa said, the hadith of Salama bin Qais is a Hasan Sahih hadith. The people of knowledge differ about the one who does not perform al-madama and al-istinshak. A group of them say one avoids them in wudu until he prays. Then he is to repeat the salah. They consider that the same for wudu and janaba. This is the view of Ibn Abi Layla, Abdullah bin al-Mubarak. I like that name too. Al-Mubarak and al-Mughira. I like the way those sound. Ahmad and Ishaq. Ahmad said, al-istinshak is more emphasized than al-madama. Interesting. I think we could just make sure you just do it, I don't see what's so hard about that. Why skip? Just do it, It feels good anyways, when you do the whole ablution process, it's like you feel really cleansed. Skipping one would feel weird, out of place, you feel like you missed a spot, Abu Isa said, a group of the people of knowledge say it is repeated in the case of janaba, but not repeated in the case of wudu. This is the saying of Athrari and some of the people of Al-Kufa. A group of them say it is not repeated in the case of wudu, nor in the case of janaba, because these are a sunnah of the Prophet, peace be upon him. So it is not necessary for one to repeat for leaving them out of wudu, nor for janaba. This is the saying of Malik and Ash-Shafi in his later view. Okay, so janaba, wudu, the sunnah. Okay, excellent. What I like about the way this one is organized is it gives us the Arabic words and then gives us the English word for it. I like that better than if they just put it in English and they don't teach us the Arabic word. Yeah, you need both. Comments. Rinsing the mouth and sniffing water up the nose is compulsory for having a bath in the case of sexual impurity. Without doing this, the prayer will be invalid. But these two things are not compulsory for ablution. They are rather sunnah, desirable and recommended. This is the opinion of Ahnaf and of the Sufyan Athari. So, I would say just do it, I don't see why you want to leave it out. It seems kind of lazy. Might as well just do it. If it's sunnah, just do it, Come on. I can definitely see why you'd want to do it after a janaba. You need to do complete ghusl, clean yourself off. Don't be gross, Very interesting. For wudu, I do it all. The whole process, so I don't like leaving one part out. It doesn't feel right. You feel like one part is crisp and clean, then you feel like a dead spot. It feels so much better. You just brush your teeth, you just do the whole process. You make intention, you say Bismillah. I feel like you prepare yourself to go in front of your maker more effectively in that way. Educational. So, we're learning a lot.